Hi guys, welcome back. Today's look is inspired by those iconic 90s and early 2000s Bollywood celebrities. Since the Bipasha look is literally everywhere on Instagram, I had to try it. This is my mood board for today's look. This was meant to be a talk through video, but my camera was on mute the whole time I was filming, so here I am doing a voiceover instead. So enjoy. For primer, I wanted something not too glowy yet hydrating because I have dry skin, and today we're going to do a matte full coverage base. So I did not want a primer that would actually make the foundation very glowy. So this M.A.C Serumizer primer is just perfect for that. Using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr Foundation after so long, and I almost forgot how much I loved this foundation. The coverage, the finish, it's not too drying on the skin, gives a beautiful soft matte finish and is extremely full coverage. Actually, it's quite buildable, and just look at the shade match. I forgot how beautifully it matched my skin. And now Fenty Beauty is exclusively available on Tira and Sephora, so you can get your hands on it. By the way, my shade is 310 and it's an exact shade match. I'm using everything full coverage today, and this is the most full coverage concealer that I own. It's the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I'm in the shade Butterscotch, and it perfectly conceals my under eyes and a little bit of pigmentation around my mouth. Currently my skin is not at its best. I have a lot of pigmentation, a lot of discoloration going on, but this base makeup just covered everything so well. Now back then, I guess pinks and coral blushes were not really a huge trend, so I'm using something quite neutral because I want to go heavy on the contour today. I'm using this Lovechild baaja blush in the shade Peach Puchka. It's a very beautiful neutral, slightly peachy blush. So there's not too much color going on, but yet there is some blush on my face. And to set everything in, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. This is my holy grail, and I'm going to set my under eyes with it. Not really setting my entire face because I have a lot of dry patches currently and I have extremely dry skin, so I don't think I need powder anywhere else. Now since we're going a little heavy on the contour, by the way, I'm using a contour after a really long time. I'm using this Benefit Hoola bronzer. It's technically a bronzer, but it has slightly cooler tones for my skin tone. So I'm using this as a contour for my cheekbones and my jawline. And by the way, this picture of Aishwarya Rai is my inspiration for today for my nose contour and highlight. She looks like a goddess. So I am, after a really long time, contouring my nose, and I guess I did a pretty decent job. I mean, it's not that visible, but in real life, I swear it was visible and it looked beautiful. So I'm contouring my nose a little bit, and I will also go in with a highlighter. Now I need some warmth and color on my face, so I'm using this M.A.C Studio Fix powder in a darker shade that I have, and I use this as a bronzer generally. So I'm taking a fluffy brush and just lightly like bronzing my face just to add some color. This is such a beautiful bronzing shade. It makes my skin look so sun-kissed and tan. Since Aishwarya Rai has a nose highlight going on, I want that too, and I'm using my Benefit Dew Lala for that. Since glittery, chunky, sparkly highlighters were a trend back then, this one is exactly like that, and I'm using this on my nose, and then I couldn't resist and I had to use it on my face also. But I'm making sure that I'll not overdo the highlight, so I'm just going on the cheekbones, like highest points of my face, and just it's just a very subtle highlight. Now thin eyebrows were a huge trend, but now I cannot make my eyebrows look very thin. So I'm not really overfilling my eyebrows so that they don't look very fluffy. I'm just trying to fill in a few gaps and just not overdoing my eyebrows today. And I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, which is my absolute favorite. Moving on to the eyes, I'm using the Swiss Beauty Ultimate Shadow Palette, which has some beautiful neutral colors, like very warm brown neutral colors. I'm using these two transition shades, and with the help of a fluffy brush, I'm just applying this in my crease and also the outer corners of my eyes, just creating a nice warm brown transition. Then I'm picking up these two darker shades of browns and mixing them both, and on a flat shadow brush I'm just placing it on the outer corners of my eyes, very close to the eyelid, to the eyelash, and then I'm blending it with a fluffy brush. This will add some depth and smokiness to the eyes. This palette actually reminds me of the NYX Ultimate Shadow palette, which I used to own long time back, and that was like my first proper neutral eyeshadow palette. And this is also named after that palette, I guess. So it is supposed to be a dupe, and it is a really good dupe, I must say. The mattes blend so beautifully. I am so impressed with this palette. Then from my Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette, I'm taking this greyish kind of a matte shade and I'm applying it all over my eyelids. Whenever I open this palette, I get so tempted to apply a shimmer on my eyelid, but I really had to resist because today's look is going to be matte. I'm taking the same transition colors from the Swiss Beauty palette and applying it on the lower lash line, just blending it very nicely for that smoky effect. For the eye look, these two pictures are my inspiration for today, Bipasha and Rani Mukherjee, and we have to do a bold winged eyeliner and kajal. So for kajal, I'm using this one from House of Makeup, and I'm applying it on my waterline and slightly smudging it with a thin brush. As a brown girl, this smoky kajal look is the most flattering eye look that you can do on yourself. It's my go-to eye look, especially for Indian looks. For eyeliner, I'm using this Benefit Roller Lash eyeliner. This is a mini one and it's my most favorite eyeliner. I'm trying to make a bold winged eyeliner. Now that I'm looking at the video, I feel like I should have done a thicker eyeliner, but this is what I did. Using the newly launched Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara, I actually tried it for the first time on camera, like properly tried it. I attended the launch event and it was great. I tried it there. But today I tried it like properly in front of the camera and I was so impressed. I did not expect it to be so extraordinary. You can see the difference. It is like the most beautiful separating volumizing mascara and it's definitely worth the hype. Only drawback, it was very difficult to take off since it's a waterproof mascara. Lastly, for lips, I'm lining my lips with this Swiss Beauty lip liner in the shade Cherry Brown. It's again my most favorite lip liner. Slightly overlining, I don't think I did a great job there. But after that, I actually tried on 2-3 lipsticks and I did not like any of them. And finally used this one from Lovechild. It's such a beautiful brown shade. It's in the shade Bar Free, and of course I couldn't resist applying a lip gloss, so I went in with a very shimmery lip gloss. In fact, the most shimmery lip gloss that I have is from Anastasia Beverly Hills and it's in the shade Peachy. And this is the final makeup look. I guess I'm going to do full coverage foundations more often because I can just live in this look. It looks so beautiful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and all the products that I used today will be mentioned in the description box below, so don't forget to check it out. Also, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon besides it to get notified whenever I upload a new video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!